Hey ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite money man in a hoodie here. Alright, so I'm going to scare you a little bit. I'm going to give you something that should either terrify you or haunt you or just make you laugh out loud because this is ridiculous, okay? In the description below is a link to an article that says that the average millennial, so my age and a tiny bit older, spends an average of $2,000 on coffee every year. $2,000 on coffee every year. Keep in mind, these are the same people that say, it's the boomers that have ruined the economy for us. They made it impossible for us to own money, can't own my own house because of the boomers. These are the same people that say it's impossible to live off even a $25 an hour job. That's $50,000 a year. That's a great salary. That's more than what I make right now. They're telling you that you can't survive on that kind of money. Yes, you can. You've got to change your lifestyle, and spending $2,000 a year on coffee is not going to cut it. You know what that same study also showed? Same study also showed that 41% of millennials said that they spent more money on coffee than they did putting away for retirement. You really think that Social Security is going to save you? I know some people who survive on just Social Security. It's rough. They buy super cheap food. They have a junk car that they've never been able to replace, and they're not going to be able to replace. When it dies, they don't have a car. You can't rely on Social Security, but these millennials are working their way to living just like that because they're spending $2,000 a year on coffee. If you were to save $200 in a Roth IRA, which is a growth stock mutual fund, this means that the money that is in the account, even if it's previous interest that you've earned from previous years, it's going to grow. It's going to grow with compound interest. Everything in the account grows every year, not just the money that you put into it. Oh, would you look at that? I've got some of my son's teething stuff stuck on my shirt. All right, if you were to put $200 a month, okay, you're going to stop spending ridiculous amounts of money on coffee, and you're just going to put that same money, okay? You're going to put that same $2,000 a year into a growth stock mutual fund, a Roth IRA, or a Roth 401k. As long as it's got Roth in it, it's usually pretty okay. Making 10%, you can be a millionaire right now. Right now, if you were to do that and you just let it sit, you don't take money out when the economy is bad, you just let it sit, you'd be a millionaire by the time you retire. So what you have to do is you have to make a life decision. You have to ask yourself, do I really want to rely on Social Security, or do I want to change my life? Do I really want to be making $65,000 a year and struggling to make ends meet? Or do I want to be making $65,000 a year, have no debts to pay off, and be able to save money for not only my future, but my kids' future so I can pay for their college stuff? If you want that life, you have to make decisions. And one of those decisions that you can make, millennials and Gen Z, you've only got less debt because you're not old enough to have as long to build up the debt as millennials do, and you've got time to change your life before it becomes a really big mess. You want to make a decision to change your life? All right, let's start with something really simple. You're not going to a coffee shop anymore. Say goodbye to Starbutts. You're making coffee at home. Let me walk you through what I've got over here and what I want you guys to do, okay? You're going to do a one-time purchase of an AeroPress coffee maker. Looks like this. There's some other pieces to it. But basically, it sits on top of your coffee mug. You put the coffee grounds in, and I'm actually going to show you where it goes. It goes to right about there is where your coffee grounds go. If you want a strong cup of coffee, or if you want a regular cup of coffee, you fill it up to the 4 mark, and you let it sit for 1 to 2 minutes. If you want a stronger cup of coffee, you can let it sit for 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. I wouldn't do more than that because then it just starts to taste nasty. But that's what you're going to do. And if you like something a little sweeter, then in addition to that, go pick up whatever fancy coffee creamer you want, okay? But that's all you're going to do for coffee. You're going to make it at the house. And you know what? If you do all of that and you just buy yourself a $5 to $7 bag of coffee grounds, and that's all that you do, until you get some of these debts and stuff paid off and you've got more money to work with. If you just do that, you could be spending somewhere between 20 to 50 cents a cup of coffee. 50 cents is kind of ridiculous still. You could be spending 10 to 20, maybe 30 cents per cup. But you've got to decide this is worth it. And if you do that, you could be paying less than $1 every day for coffee. You could be spending $300 a year on coffee instead of paying $2,000. And then you've got money that you can use to get yourself out of debt and start living life again. You don't have to live this way, but it means you've got to make sacrifices. And if you make sacrifices right now, in 10 years, you don't have to make those same sacrifices. In 10 years, you can enjoy your money. While your friends are going to be juggling all the things they're going to be juggling, trying to pay for their kids' college while trying to wrestle a mortgage and all of their car payments and their credit card bills and yada, da, 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 and they're barely making ends meet and they're having to make sacrifices 10 years from now, you don't have to make those same sacrifices. Because you made those sacrifices right now and you have freedom. That's the difference. And it's an exciting future when you don't have to worry about car payments. Average car payments being somewhere between $500 to $700 per month. Imagine not having that. Average credit card payment that people make in the United States is about $400. Imagine not having that. Already we've got between $900 to $1,100 extra a month just because we don't have to worry about those things. That's the future you're looking for. But the way that you're living right now is not working. So you need to make sacrifices right now so that in 10 years, you can walk into a coffee shop and order what you want. You don't have to look at the price tag. The way that I heard it put, that I think is the most exciting part to me. Typically, you've got what you're ordering on the left side of the page and the price on the right side of the page. When you know that you've really made it is when you can first look at the left side of the page where the order is, and you don't have to worry about the right side of the page, what the cost is. You can order what you want. That's your goal, okay? But it means you have to make a sacrifice right now. In an easy way to save money on coffee is make it at home between 20 to 30 cents per cup. Getting ground coffee, using an AeroPress, drink 1, maybe 2 cups of coffee a day if you really need the caffeine. Use a creamer if you need something a little bit more sweet, and don't go to a coffee shop. Don't step into that coffee shop unless you're working there. I love the way that Dave Ramsey puts it. When you're getting out of debt, you don't step inside of a restaurant unless you're working there. That's your life for a little bit, so that later on, you can enjoy those things more than you are right now. All right, link is down in the description if you want to read it. Feel free to ask me any questions if you guys got anything. I will see y'all later. Bye.